Welcome to Mr. Podcast with Claude.
And Justin.
We're back with our Watchmen episodic commentary series TV review system with episode
Method.
107. What'd you say?
Method.
Method, patent pending. Um, Episode 107, An Almost Religious Awe.
Aww.
AARA, which is an almost triple A, but with an R in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Almost
Ah.
AARP, but with an A at the end
Oh
instead of a P.
yeah.
So
I guess
that
you might
was
say that Ozymandias is in a retirement community
he's definitely retired.
of sorts.
Um, but he's not golfing so much as he's doing the opposite of golf.
What is the opposite of golf?
That's what he's doing.
Okay. Okay. Ergo. All right. I got
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's it. That's how it works. Simple
Following the
answer.
logic.
Okay, yeah, so we're back after the really big crazy black and white episode following Will's past Hood of Justice reveal, and Angela taking his memories, which,
Yep.
like, why does he even have those memories? I guess to give to her in the first place.
Yep.
It doesn't seem like he needs them.
No.
MacGuffin, if you will. A little contrivance, but
Is it a MacGuffin?
Not necessarily a MacGuffin, more just a contrived
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
MacGuffin-esque.
Sure.
Um, and now we're at 107, which was a pretty also crazy episode.
Indeed.
Some big ideas.
Yeah.
What was your favorite big idea?
Wow, I wasn't ready for that question. What was your favorite big idea? Let's see. Yeah.
This is a not so subtle way for me to remember what happened in this episode.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So I don't like I'm not really sure what to say my favorite big idea was, but
Well, I know my favorite big idea.
oh,
The one
okay.
thing I remember.
Do tell.
And I say that because it's been a while. We're podcasting a little later than normal, so it's been a while since I've seen this episode.
Yeah.
Well, the
Me
biggest big
too.
idea is Cal being Doctor Manhattan.
Oh, the
Definitely my
Dr. Manhattan pivot.
yeah,
Yeah. I
definitely
was
my
gonna bring
favorite.
that up. I was gonna bring up some other things first, but yeah, that's definitely the biggest reveal in this episode. Yeah,
Yeah.
no question. But there's some other stuff too. There's some Lady True questions.
Yep.
Not necessarily answers. There's some Ozymandias developments. The whole
Mm-hmm.
trial. Whatever that's about.
Yep.
I feel like now that yeah, I don't know. Now that Doctor Manhattan's like doing whatever he's doing, uh, I just don't know what to make of Ozymandias stuff. I'm confused.
I have some ideas.
But is it Save Me, Doctor Manhattan? I don't know if that
I
makes any
I
sense.
it's such a long thing to spell out, and there were a lot of bodies, but it would take a really lot of bodies and time for him to spell out that. I don't think it's that. Part of me wants to say because he's got this like tongue in cheek quality to him. It's like save me, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
It could be save me. I just don't think it's the doctor he's trying to get the attention of, because specifically he's pointing towards a satellite, and there's no
Yeah.
evidence Dr. Manhattan is monitoring a satellite. In
No,
fact,
I
there's
agree. I
evidence
agree.
that he's not. Now, Lady True's first name, I don't know if we've ever found that out.
No, I don't think so.
Diana
Mm-mm.
True, I don't
They could
know.
definitely reveal that, and
Yeah,
yeah,
I
it's
think,
really just the only D I could think of a
yeah.
character who seems relevant to that plot. Because I
Hmm.
I do feel like he created that world, but
Yeah, so that's if he's the person who jailed him there, right? It wouldn't make sense for him to be like, "I escaped, now save me." Like
right.
that's a weird
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, exactly. It makes no sense. Yeah, okay. So, but like I before we move on, I have to give you
Oh, maybe
credit.
it's Darling. Maybe Lady True and
Uh-oh.
Ozymandias had a little fling,
Uh-oh.
and that's my theory. I'm sticking with that. It's Darling.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice. I
and
like
that's why
that.
they didn't show us the whole thing because it's going to be a reveal about their relationship.
Right, right. Okay.
What were we going to say?
Uh, I just have to give you some credit.
I love getting credit.
So, earlier in the season, if any of
Hmm.
you have been listening, which I hope you have, it's weird if you jumped in here, but hey, that's fine.
Welcome.
Um, if you did, go check out the old ones. They're not bad.
Yeah,
There's some good stuff in there.
I
Anyway,
clearly say something that'll give me some credit right about now.
yeah. So like I think early on, I was pretty skeptical about the Dr. Manhattan stuff because based on like I was trying to use, the past, the template for like how shows have worked in the past, and
Hmm.
I didn't want to get hung up on a detail that didn't seem relevant to the characters that they were following. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
like looking at what they were spending time on, I was like, well, it seems like the show's more about Angela, her family history, and this stuff going on in Tulsa right now. And it really, I could not think of how Dr. Manhattan on Mars, as I assumed,
Hmm.
had anything to do with any of that. So
Hmm.
I feel like that was my biggest stumbling block to thinking that Dr. Manhattan would be in any way important to the show. So I feel like what I should have thought is if Dr. Manhattan's important, why is Dr. Manhattan important to Angela?
Yep.
That's what I should have thought. And that would have put me on the right track.
And also another thought that would have helped is Dr. Manhattan doesn't seem important at all. Why is that? And
Right,
that's the other thing too is the focus at the beginning was about the characters that you said, but
right,
it won't be that always. They do
right.
that for a reason so that when they shift focus, you care about what's happening, right?
Yeah, right, right. Yeah, it's true.
So
It's
where's
true.
my credit?
I just, I didn't want to. That's your credit. I mean, I'm just saying you were right that the Dr. Manhattan stuff is significant,
Mm-hmm.
like clearly. But I didn't think that any of the characters that we knew, except maybe Ozymandias, would have any personal stake with Dr. Manhattan. So I just couldn't envision. Like, I could see him like playing a role in the plot, but I couldn't envision it being that
Mm-hmm.
important
Yeah.
because I didn't think any of the characters that we knew would really care. So it just I that's why I just didn't want to get like, I didn't want to get cabined or whatever. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to get like fixated on like a cool thing that might not matter that much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, I'm just going to assume, and I kind of did the same thing with the cavalry where I was like, well, I don't think the
Mm-hmm.
cavalry matters because like they just seem like,
Mm-hmm.
they just seem like they're, uh, just a bunch of buffoons doing nonsense, and like, yeah, maybe they'll like do some antagonistic thing and like they'll have to deal with it, but
Mm-hmm.
like I guess I didn't realize how deep they were gonna. I should have though. Like in retrospect, it seems
Well,
obvious
it's
that.
funny because it's both of those things are related, right? Like the cavalry's
Hmm.
importance and Dr. Manhattan's importance are actually literally linked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's the third place. It's like I was wrong on both counts that they would be important, but I feel like the reason why I thought they didn't matter is the stuff I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was what I knew at the time, which was very little. And uh if I had the thought of like how could they matter, the first thing
Mm-hmm.
I would think is how do they matter to the characters they're following, and
Mm-hmm.
potentially how are they linked. And
Yeah.
that never occurred to me
Yeah.
at all. So that to me that was like huge. I am still, I think, if I have a pet peeve with this show, it's the chief. I'm
Yeah.
still like I feel like I might get to the end of the season and still feel frustrated with the way they handled the chief. I that scene with the chief in the last episode, I found really unsatisfying, even though it was the scene I wanted, from the beginning. Like I was invested in
Mm-hmm.
that mystery. What is going on with him? Why is he hiding the robe? We get this full confrontation, and yet it feels like I didn't really learn anything. And really, for me, everything I think about the chief is really just inference based on what we find out in this episode, from Keen. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I'm inferring that he was on the same page, and therefore, like, that's why he had the clan robe. But like, I wanted to hear him say it. I guess like it's a little frustrating to me that he's still, even as he's having his final moments of life, like he's still like not really being open about his motivations and you know true beliefs. uh and yeah, I don't know, like I guess I just want something more definitive, I guess, like having having his wife, revealed to be in league with the cavalry is probably the closest we're going to
Mm-hmm.
get on that. But the way he was behaving early on, I just like to understand it, and I just kind of hope we
Maybe
get
the
at
wife
least a
will.
throwaway line about it.
Yeah, maybe she'll be in a position to say, Angela will be like,
Yeah.
"You guys are racist this whole time. What about all those family dinners?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what
And
I
it's
want.
like she'll be like, "Just because we're racist doesn't mean we don't like good food."
That sounds
You
like
know.
something they would say.
Yeah. So I imagine it'll be something like that. But I don't. I mean, I agree with you. I think there was something unsatisfying about that. I think mainly because I mean, I feel like that scene played out that way because it was really the reveal about how Will killed
Right.
the
Right. That was the
sheriff.
focus. But I didn't give a shit about that. Like, I was willing to accept that he did it somehow. I assumed he just had people helping him and it was like a super practical answer. They went for
Hmm.
something in between supernatural and like, oh, he just had someone else do it. It was
Hmm.
like, this thing that I couldn't have known about.
Hmm.
But like that's I don't to me that I don't that doesn't matter to me per se. It's really
You know,
just
one
the
of
the
the things
motivations.
one of the things I didn't understand about that reveal of the death scene is I thought Blake said that from the autopsy or whatever, from the investigation, that it was clear that the sheriff like fought people or something, or like something about his
Oh
fingernail, right?
yeah.
Wasn't it something about his
I feel like I
fingernails?
remember that too.
Yeah, it's
Ooh, that doesn't work if they actually said that. Why would they
it,
do that?
yeah,
They must have known
it
the
made it seem
answer.
like he was fighting being hung somehow, but like
Yeah.
when we actually see it, it doesn't really play out that
There's no
way.
fighting at
So
all.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm curious what the lines were. I forgot exactly the lines, or if they were just wrong.
In the old days, like, lost days or whatever, like, there were like for real retcons because there could be like years between things like that. But in this
Mm-hmm.
case, like, I feel pretty certain that they knew whenever they wrote
Yeah.
episode two that, or three, whenever that thing you're saying was revealed, that like
Hmm.
this would be the answer. So, yeah, that's weird. I
Yeah.
have to review the tape on that one because that's, oof, ouch.
Well, and I wonder if Angela will tell Blake, "Hey, I had the nostalgia. I saw, he didn't put up a fight," and then Blake could just be
Okay.
like, "Oh, I guess the people at the shop did it wrong, or
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah,
autopsy."
yeah. That's
What was the thing from Twin Peaks? The
yes.
Cro-Magnon
Some Chromax.
did
Oh
it
God.
wrong. Yeah.
God, yeah, reverse the or what happened, Albert? Could you explain Cro-Magnon?
Yeah, nobody knows what happened to David Lynch, and he won't tell anyone.
Simple exposition. Why can't you do that?
Because dreams.
It's not that hard.
Uh,
But yeah, you're right. They could totally just have a throwaway like, oh, local, forensics are
mhm,
incompetent, whatever.
mhm. Yeah,
Like, okay. I mean,
good enough. It's
Angela
hard to
has to have
find.
a confrontation with Will as well. So, you know, it could also
Mhm,
be discussed in that context.
mhm. So, otherwise, yeah, I think I had the right instinct, that, generally speaking, about the end of the season was going
Oh yeah,
to be about new things that the beginning of the
definitely.
season was just setting up.
Yeah.
And I will say that the whole idea, I love this idea of the cavalry. I thought, oh, okay, they're gonna, do another terrorist attack, and then it got even crazier with the portal reveal, and I got, oh, okay, they're gonna
Hmm.
make something appear somewhere or drop a bomb somewhere, easily. But then this reveal in this episode that like it's even crazier than that, that they
Yeah.
want to be Doctor Manhattan, or Keen wants to be Doctor Manhattan.
Yeah.
um and that because now the threat, I mean, that's, and if you think about the show, right, the themes of the show, how do you marry the idea of, white supremacy and this like terrorist idea, domestic terrorism idea, with the intrinsic ideas of the Watchmen and the crazy supernatural stuff of Dr. Manhattan, right? So it's like, instead of a terrorist wanting a bomb or wanting a nuke or something, right? What if they want the powers of Dr. Manhattan? And
Right.
like I could see them getting to that in the writers' room and going, "Oh, okay, that's awesome. Let's do that." That's a great goal for them to have if they can figure out how to do that. Which is cool because it reveals that that's hey, that's a thing that could happen. I never thought about that. The experiment that turned the watchmaker son into Dr. Manhattan, I thought, it's a one-off thing. You can't reproduce that or whatever. So I'm
Right.
curious what their plan is to get his power. I guess they need him, right? So I'm kind of curious about that. What
Right.
that's going to be. And the other thing I was going to say earlier, back to Angela, was something I never thought about was, Laurie Blake is sort of known for having this relationship with Dr. Manhattan. And I just
Right.
never thought that another person might have a romantic relationship with him in the intervening years. And so
Yeah.
having Dr. Manhattan's, big claim to fame, winning the Vietnam War, and Angela growing up in Vietnam, I'm assuming there'll
Hmm.
be a flashback to, the last thing we saw from I believe it was, maybe it's this episode, right, where
Yeah.
she has the memories of
Yeah.
her grandmother coming.
Yeah. We're gonna
Uh,
see that. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm assuming when her grandmother dies and she's still left there, that she's gonna meet a handsome young man, who turns out to be a secret Doctor Manhattan or
Yeah.
something like that. But
That
I am
sounds
really,
true.
yeah, I'm really curious to see Dr. Manhattan's plan, why he wanted to go undercover as Cal, what the ideas were
Yeah. So
there.
there never was a cow. There is no cow. Is that true?
I mean, I
Like,
guess we'll find out if
I was a
Cal's a
little unclear
construct,
if like there
or if
was a
he
cow and then
is
he
Cal's.
died in an
Yeah,
accident or something.
exactly. Was there a Cal and he died, and then Dr. Manhattan took his place?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's probably more likely, because I think it's you know you don't have to invent documents and all this kind of
Right.
stuff for
Yeah.
his personhood. But yeah, yeah, I'm curious how, what the details are going to be there.
Yeah. The other thing you got me wondering about with like Keen being the new Dr. Manhattan is like, Dr. Manhattan's whole thing is like he goes to Mars because like he's all like aloof about humanity because of like
Hmm.
how he perceives time and stuff. Like, can you still be like a white supremacist if you have that point of view? Like, you know what I mean? Is it gonna work? I
Can
don't
you be an
know.
aloof white supremacist?
Yeah, yeah. Is that doable? Like,
I think there's probably going to be a situation where they get some of his powers, they don't actually become him in terms of his mentality. I'm assuming that's going to maybe be the thing where they get like half
okay.
Manhattan,
Yeah, yeah.
lower East Side or
Manhattan.
something. Manhattan. Thank you. This podcast is over, folks. It's not going to get better than that. Um, yeah, something like that makes sense, because I mean, you bring up a good point. That's an interesting thing, and also it'd be cool if like that's something that they're not thinking about, right? So if it, maybe I could see a plot going where Keen does become Doctor Manhattan, and he's like, oh shit, white supremacy's dumb. I'm out of here. I'm going
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Mars.
yeah. That's what I was imagining. Like, oh, why would I care about white supremacy when, like,
Yeah,
the universe is
it's all
just,
about blue supremacy
yeah,
now.
exactly. Yeah, that's I guess that it could go that way. That would make
Hmm.
more sense in a way.
Yeah.
Than like my allegiance to this thing that I'm not really that thing anymore.
Yeah, I'm not really even. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
no,
I
that's
don't
a great
know.
question. I'm curious. Yeah, so that's the big thing that kind of has got me my engine turning for the next episode, the last episode of season, and I guess whatever they get to the season two, because it's not going to be over this next
Mhm.
episode.
Yeah.
Because those are some interesting ideas to play around. I guess yeah, broadly you'd say, you know, um, I'm trying to think of that, that phrase from Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. What is the victory of a cat on a hot tin roof? And then Maggie the cat says, "Just staying on it, I guess." Um, Great movie and also play. But
Indeed.
So I'm trying to think, what is the victory of a white supremacist that gets the powers of like matter manipulation and clairvoyance and like all this stuff? Um, just staying on it, I guess. No. But yeah, I'm curious. I'm really interested. Yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. I mean, it's such a weird season for a show. I mean, the plots is super crazy. I mean, we don't know who Oil Man is yet.
Right.
Um, I mean,
Yeah.
if that's not Petey, I'm gonna be so surprised. I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
don't know
yeah.
who else it can
There's
be.
no room for it to be
Yeah,
very many other people, I think.
yeah.
So, yeah.
And oh, by the way, have you read Peteypedia?
No, what would that be?
So there's an in-world. So just like the Lost Diary, remember the early seasons of Lost, where there was
Oh,
like a
no.
quote character who
Oh,
was writing, "My
no.
brother,
Henry
they got
kills
my
my
brother
brother.
in the Swan. I saw his shirt. Oh well, I guess I was wrong." Yeah, that was a horrible thing, but it was like,
Yeah.
ABC.com had that Diary of Lost, right?
Yeah.
The sort of in-world
It was really
extra.
exciting for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Ugh, what a
And it
long,
was
long
like,
two
oh,
weeks.
never read that again.
Yeah. So they're doing the same thing, but it's
Okay.
basically Petey from from the show is writing sort of an encyclopedia that you can access about things in the world.
Oh, okay.
It's
I
called
see
I haven't
it.
seen it yet. I just heard about it. It's called Peteypedia.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm. Oh man. Oh
Yeah.
wow, there's documents.
Yeah, it reminds me of like the Mark Frost Twin Peaks
Yes.
stuff of like, hey,
Yes.
you
The
want to you
secret
want to
history.
you want to see some documents about this world? No, not really, but okay.
That's what you were waiting for. Case files.
Yeah, who wants case file? Yeah, it's fun stuff.
Lady True, fact or fiction? I don't know. I think she exists. Like, what the fuck is this?
True fact or fiction. That's a great title.
Oh, is it just a pun? I guess it's just a pun.
Yeah, I guess it is like her name is true, so
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. All
it
right.
sounds like a joke because I'm
It
laughing.
does sound like a joke. Yeah. The show
Yeah.
definitely has a jokey element. I think, that really comes out in the trial scene in this episode.
The trial scene, um when Blake goes to talk to the sheriff's wife,
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah,
they
yeah, totally. That too. Yeah,
and I
yeah,
mean
where
Blake
it's like,
herself is always half joking.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. She's very
Um
quippy. And yeah, the whole scene was like James Bond parody kind of
yeah, it was
thing.
like, "Oh, we didn't oil our trap chair, our trap door hasn't been
Yeah.
used in a while." Or like, "Which
Yeah.
button is it? Oh, it's been so long since." But it was great. It was
I'd
so
consider
random.
that a Lindelof trope that there's certain kinds of genre conventions that it just feels like he cannot do with a straight face, that he has to make
Yeah.
them jokes.
I think yeah, and I don't know if it's a defense mechanism or not. That's kind of what I wonder. If he's like, oh, if I do this straight, then people will laugh the wrong
Mhm.
way. Like you're gonna laugh anyway, so I might as well make it a
Right.
joke. So so the show is laughing with you
Right.
versus people going, oh, this is so dumb,
Yeah.
and you're laughing at the show the wrong way. I wonder
Right.
if it yeah, which one is it? Does he write it because he needs comedy, and levity, so he adds
Mhm.
that, or is it he wants it to be serious, but he has to do it tongue in cheek so it doesn't come off because it is crazy, right? Like
Yeah,
there
yeah.
are other crazy things that they do seriously,
True.
like being connected to an elephant,
Right.
uh, you know,
Yeah.
which I
Yeah.
assume I can only imagine the only reason she was connected to an elephant is because elephants never forget and it's all
That's
about
exactly
memories.
what I thought.
That has to be it. I mean, if it's not that, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, it's just really strange though.
Mhm.
Like that's true, like
I knew Will wasn't in
scientifically.
there the whole time. I'm like, there's just no way Louis
Yeah.
Gossett Jr. just hanging out behind that door. Like
Yeah,
that's just not
yeah.
how TV works.
No, you yeah, I agree. It was clear. I didn't
Yeah,
know what was gonna be there, but I definitely knew, yeah,
yeah,
that it wasn't him. They're saving up that next meeting for
yeah.
later,
Clearly
clearly.
one in the finale.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do we? So I mean, so he said, "Listen, there's a conspiracy here that if I told you would blow
Fast
your
and
mind."
Insidious.
Fast and Insidious. So do you feel like that was an appropriate description? Do you feel like? I mean, it also begs. I mean, not begs the question, but I don't know, begs the answer that that's why he came back to Angela is because if he knows that the cavalry is trying to be Dr. Manhattan and he
Mhm.
happens to know that she's with Dr. Manhattan,
Yes,
that would
I strongly suspect that now, yeah.
mhm,
That
mhm,
scene is totally different now, like,
mhm,
I totally misunderstood what was going on in that scene from both sides, actually, and
yeah,
now having seen these other episodes, like, oh, they were having a different conversation from what I thought it was.
mhm.
It's really weird, but
Because
yeah, I
that's
think
because you're right. He says, I'm Dr. Manhattan, I'm human," and
Mhm.
she goes, "He can't look like other people,"
Yeah.
and so they're both knowing probably the truth.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure he knows about it because I think Lady True knows about it and he's collaborating with her. So I think
Mhm.
most likely he knew that was going on. And yeah, that was what created the urgency. That's why he killed the chief and got the whole thing rolling.
But why not just show up and say, "Hi, I'm your grandfather.
Oh God, you're gonna ask that question. It's gonna be like
I
the why didn't
I
the others just like come to the beach and say like, hey, like welcome to the island?
exactly. Why didn't Ben just goes, "Hi, I'm not Henry Gal. I'm the lead of the others, this
Yeah,
is guy
yeah.
Jacob." But no, I was just gonna say, why not say, "Hi, I'm Mila's grandfather. Also, your husband is Dr. Manhattan. Let's talk."
Right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I feel like the answer is similar in that, yeah, the dramatic reveal gets
It would
kind of
because it would blow her mind.
undercut. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, definitely. That would have been a lot for episode 2.
I want a show where I want to see a story where that somebody says that same kind of thing, like, "Oh, if I told you everything right now, it'd blow your mind," and then they do a scene, they do a flashback to where that person did tell somebody everything, and they're like,
Mhm.
their mind exploded, and it was like a real
Oh my
danger.
god.
It was like a real danger. Like, I'm
Wow.
not just saying that. Literally, you'll have an aneurysm or like external combustion.
Yeah. Yeah. I do think it was a bit of an exaggeration. I feel like the main reason why it would be shocking is because the stuff about the chief.
But
And
that,
I guess the fact that they're
yeah,
trying to like make a
I
Dr.
guess
Manhattan.
that's the question: is what's the conspiracy? What does he mean by conspiracy? Because there's all these different elements,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
that's
another
true.
Lindelof thing where there's like a
Yeah.
concept and there's like 15 parts, like a
Right.
loophole, and it's like, well,
Yeah.
what part is the loophole?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it is a lot like that. I mean, I feel like it's clear that it has something to do with this Cyclops thing, you know.
Yep.
But I guess you could say like, what aspect is he talking about? I
Well,
feel
that's
like
what's weird to me because I
the
thought
personal stuff
Cyclops.
would be the shocking stuff. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
The what stuff?
The personal stuff, like
Yeah,
this chief and the Doctor Manhattan stuff, because that affects her personally.
I didn't think Cyclops was still around in the present. I thought, well, and I guess it's weird to be like, well, what's the KKK? How do they relate to the Cavalry and any other denomination of white supremacy? And like, I thought like I thought Cyclops was just a name for the KKK in New York who was like doing the mesmerism.
I think
Like,
it is kind of that. It's almost like a code name for
hmm
whatever white supremacy thing they're doing. But I think they have a line where they insinuate that Cyclops turned into the seventh
yeah, yeah, exactly. Which makes me think, okay, are they still trying to further the same idea of like racial
power.
warfare?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
turning black people against each other or something.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So is that why they want the powers of Dr. Manhattan, to
Mm-hmm.
further that specific goal?
Yeah.
Or do they just want to be able to like blow stuff up,
Right, right.
with the power of their mind?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he does say, whatever. It's like it's hard to be a white man in America right now, or something like that. And I feel like that implies that, they want to take power back, and maybe Dr. Manhattan is a way to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the along lines I was thinking, that it was about the power that it would bring them. I didn't necessarily think they were going to try sort of the same scheme from the 40s, but it's
Mm-hmm.
possible. I mean, with Dr. Manhattan, what can't you do?
Well, that's why it to me, if having the line that Cyclops is now the Cavalry means the mission is the same. Because
Mhm.
you could not have that line and just say the Cavalry is a racist organization and like cool, then I expect them to do whatever they're gonna do. But if you're gonna have a line that says you're the former Cyclops, then to me that makes me want to link their specific objective.
Right.
Um
Yeah.
but all right, let's get into the episode. I hear it's almost religious awe inspiring.
Uh yeah, I heard that too, just now. Um all right, let's do it.
All right, everybody, get your streamers ready to stream and sync if you're gonna stream and sync with us. Uh, okay,
Sink and
streaming and
stream.
syncing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Watchmen. Previously on Watchmen. 3 days.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's
Save me, D.
Save Me D.
It's either True's name or Save Me, Damn It. But why would they hide Damn It?
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. Wade is clearly not dead.
Wait is AWOL. Yeah, we find out
Yeah.
about that in this episode. Like when the
I
cavalry
did
storm his house.
I did guess something based on that scene that there
Oh.
was one cavalry guy who didn't have a mask on, a
Uh-huh.
Rorschach mask, and I'm
Yeah.
sure Wade took that mask so he can go infiltrate them.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds 100% true. I'm buying it. I had no idea, but I didn't actually notice that or think about it, I guess.
Piano.
Ooh, HBO.
HBO. It's not just
Never
TV.
change.
Is that what the phrase? It's more than meets the television. Which
Something
one is
like
it?
that.
America's New Manifest Destiny.
He was on the moon? Okay.
Why was he on the
That
moon?
was weird.
Is that how that we got the moon landing? He just flew the shuttle to the moon.
Yeah. That kind of makes it less impressive, no offense.
Yeah, but also more impressive.
Well, more impressive for Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
He made watches.
Watchmen.
I guess because
He
he's the
watches the
watchman
Watchmen.
watchmaker's son.
Yeah. The whole watch thing is such a great theme. It's everywhere. It's
Yeah.
time and yeah, it's so easy to integrate into things.
Yeah.
10 hours.
Holy shit, that's long.
I would like to know, and I'm sure they're going to get into this maybe in season 2, is like what religious cults were started. Because just that phrase, why he was here and why he left, reminds me of God. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that's something they'll probably get into, like the guilty
Yeah.
remnant and cults and the others, right? Like what
Yeah.
people decided that Dr. Manhattan was God or was
Right.
good enough to be God.
Yeah. That sounds very ripe for. And they've been making a lot of religious allusions, so
Hmm.
I don't think they have time to go too deep with that in 2 episodes, but
No, I'm picturing season 2.
season two, yeah, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
because it's got to be a whole group of people, and you
Right.
know how they do. We've seen that. We've
Very true.
it's
Seen
gonna
that a few
happen.
times.
It's gonna happen. So I thought this was cool. This whole alternate reality about Vietnam and becoming a state and all that kind of stuff. I find that really interesting.
Yeah, it is.
And this thing with the black exploitation film, the Sister Night thing. So this is where it
Yeah,
came from. Is
right.
cool. I thought she made it up, but now it makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's actually just a coincidence that it looks like the Hooded Justice makeup.
Hmm. Genetic coincidence.
So Sister Night really is a nun. That was
Yep.
something I learned from that.
Yep.
Like I didn't know if it was just like it kind of looks like a nun.
Nope. It's a nun. She's a nun. They're hiding something. Yeah, they're
Like you don't
pagan.
remember that, but I guess she's remembering it in the future.
Yeah. I thought it was his memory, but
Oh, right. It could be. It totally could be his
I
memory.
think it's supposed to be his memory.
Yeah, good point.
He was there.
He was there. It's just weird because she literally remembered that like a few
Yeah.
hours ago.
I guess I don't really understand this terrorist attack thing. Is this like the Viet Cong is like still around and they're doing a terrorist attack because America invaded, or is this
I
or
think so.
are these Vietnamese who want their own sovereignty and
It
so
could
they're
be that
doing
too. I think
yeah.
they're pretty vague about it. It's clearly, yeah, they want the Americans out of there, but
Yeah.
besides that, yeah, I don't think they really say.
Yeah, it's weird to have those flashbacks to the Tulsa riots cutting to her because
Yeah, that
yeah,
makes me think she's remembering that.
she's overlapping between her real memories and Will's memories.
Yeah, right, because her parents weren't there, so they wouldn't remember that. Need those side rails.
Yep. Keeps you in bed.
Millennium Clock.
It's
What
gonna
are you
go off.
doing?
Clock's ticking. Tick
That's one
tock.
of the mysteries. What's your plan, True?
Yep.
Again. This is
Yeah,
just
you know the answer to
negligence.
that. Like this actress and the whole concept of Lady True is so lost. Like you know she was on the island at some point. Like she could have been a foe for like Dr. Woodmore. I mean Charles Woodmore. You know,
Yeah.
like no, Charles, I'll find the island first.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. She's such a Widmore type. Holy
She's
shit. I
totally
didn't really even
like
think about that
she
connection.
just got this
Yeah.
whole lost vibe in general.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. She's doing these like Dharma
Like
experiments.
Dogan was my brother. Where did where did Jacob take him? I'll find that island.
Yeah.
Orientation video.
Yep. Yep. This is better than like just dialogue.
Yep.
We'll have like a visual.
That true logo is so specific. I wonder if there's something behind it.
What it's
Like,
based on.
yeah, like the shapes rearrange into another letter or character or
One of those
spaceship or
things.
something.
Yeah.
Or being unconscious. I won't listen to you ever.
That's the message. A natural host. I don't
She didn't say
quite
yes.
understand it.
She didn't say yes. Yeah, I didn't catch that the first time. She let her
Hmm.
believe it was the grandfather.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's making this story about like why he's got to be locked up in this room away from her.
Hmm.
But I think I don't really understand how the elephant thing works. Maybe it doesn't matter, but
Yeah, I assume it's some techno babble about elephant memory cortexes being great, and it helps. We found that in trials that the elephant brain helps retrieve aberrant nostalgia memories. You know, it'll be some line like that,
yeah.
and the whole joke is just that elephants have great memories.
Right. 12 hours. Woo.
Or maybe the elephant is like a filter, like it can it can process which memories are yours or not,
Mhm.
something like that.
Right.
Every time they cut to these two, I feel like the show is diverging from the concept of these two people. Like there's I just they made sense in the beginning, and now I just feel like they're in their own show.
Yeah. I
Uh,
agree. They have like a spin-off or something.
yeah, there's just something like they're I don't know, maybe they're just not being integrated right or
Yeah. Yeah. I think they've had trouble with that. This scene is the reason why I thought Dr. Manhattan was Cal at the end before slightly before the reveal. Like this is
oh,
a
that's
scene that made me
interesting.
suspicious.
Oh, that'll be nice. I didn't. I guessed it before the end, but let me see why this might have tipped you off.
I don't think there's anything in it that's really that
He is wearing blue, all
specific.
blue.
That's true. Like, I think one thing that stood out to me about this scene was that I think it's the first scene where he's like the protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
Yeah, I
oh,
think.
that's weird. They're elevating his character somehow.
Okay.
And it sort of made sense because Angela's incapacitated,
Exactly.
but at the end, I started thinking, okay, who could Doctor Manhattan be? And I'm like,
Yeah.
well,
I was already thinking Cal was um the oil guy. Maybe I was expecting a reveal about his character.
oh right, right.
Uh, and
PD,
then
you mean?
Petey, yeah, and then when the idea that Dr. Manhattan was a person, I thought, who could he be? And I thought a show about white supremacy and with a lot of black characters. The thing you do is you make Dr. Manhattan a black character.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh, he's Cal.
Boom. Oh, here's the Wade thing.
Yeah. This was cool because I assumed, like, I didn't necessarily think Wade was dead, but I assumed those guys got the jump on him and
Me
there'd be
too.
no way that like he could fight them off. And then we see this and it's like, oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
right. He's the main character. Of course he can fight them off.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought he was gonna be captured,
Yeah.
but clearly not.
It's weird that they even went after him though, because I thought he was still sort of on their side. He gave them Angela like they wanted. So I'm
Yeah.
curious. I guess that's a reveal we'll find out is why they were sent for him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I feel like I didn't think about that enough in that episode.
Mm-hmm.
They come at the end. But you're
Yep, there's
totally
the
right
guy.
about the mask. Like, I'm 100%
Yep.
convinced.
Yeah. Put it in your pedia, PD. What are those poles?
I
That's
don't
like tech,
know.
some sort of technology, or that's just like lights from
Oh,
the
I think they
trail.
lit up when the chief leaves. So yeah, I think they're just like fancy lights.
All right. My husband's dead. That couch looks comfy. Look at that sofa.
Oh man. Well, I'm glad she's sitting in the trapdoor chair.
Yeah.
This is convenient actually, because otherwise she wouldn't even know all this.
Mm-hmm.
Because it wasn't clear from the episode that Angela was talking
Yeah.
out loud.
The thing I don't get is how much this matters to people like her or the average citizen. Like, how big of a deal is that? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Black men in masks are not scary anymore. It's a weird line. Yes. Why is she telling her all of this stuff? This isn't against investigation procedures. And for Blake, who's always a step ahead of everybody,
Mm-hmm.
she's being real dumb here.
Yeah, you're right. It feels contrived because of what they want to do.
I mean, even she says it like, "Oh, you've been talking so much this entire time." Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this is kind of uncharacteristic for Blake. Now, this was an interesting turn.
Yeah, so I feel like this is the reveal about why Angela doesn't get shot.
Why?
Well, because if the chief was in on it, he could have had them hold
Oh, yeah,
back.
the same thing. Okay, same idea.
Yeah.
I love that line. It's like this old
I
1950s
know. What is
controller.
this? It's like a high tech house, but like it doesn't even work right.
And it just seems like she's like, 10 feet down, like she's not
Mm-hmm.
dead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's like when Desmond got thrown down the well and it was like, I'm just right
Yeah.
here. I'm not dead.
Yeah, the whole idea of the White Knight making it so that they could put the police in masks, I kind of don't get it. I love the idea that there was an engineered reason for it,
Mm-hmm.
for the
I
power
agree. I don't
control.
think that adds up the way they wanted
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
It's a bit messy.
I
Like
love Beyond or Bijou. What's her name?
beyond, yeah, you're right.
She's great.
Oh yeah, we get a reveal about her character in this episode.
Mm-hmm. I love that line. So many reasons.
I can't tell if she's serious about these responses.
Angela, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think she's serious. What do you mean?
Okay.
I love this. This has nothing to do with the show. I'm just doing something on the side. Yeah, he's not a clown.
Yeah, exactly. That that's a slight clue there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. This reminds me of that Mr. Show sketch where I forget what they say, but then the other guy's like, "Oh, do you want to flash back about that?"
Yeah. Yeah. Why are you a cop? And three,
And
two,
yeah,
one.
exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot of blue here. I just noticed she's wearing blue. Now she's painting with
Hmm.
blue. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess they're doing this. They're doing Dr. Manhattan stuff, but
Yeah.
I guess that should have been a reveal too. A clue, but the reveal.
Definitely. Yeah, it's one of those things where looking back, there's quite a lot there if you
Yeah.
want to pick it up.
I want a TV show about these cops right here.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, this is a weird this is an interesting moment here.
Mm-hmm.
I think the considerations here are not obvious.
Mm-hmm.
It might just be practical, but I think it's interesting that she understands what they're saying, but she speaks to them in English.
Yeah, I assume she's not super fluent yet. That's what I assumed, but was she born
Yeah,
here?
I thought so. I thought that's what
Yeah,
she said in the first episode.
yeah, yeah. Good call.
I was just assuming like the actor like didn't want to try to speak Vietnamese.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's better for the audience too that there's
Exactly.
not all subtitle scenes. I find this to be interesting. Is this the part you mean? Like this
Yes.
like extrajudicial killing here where it's like, oh, he's the guy, a little girl said it's him, so I'm just gonna shoot him in the back.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess it's like he killed my parents,
Yeah.
so fuck him, but you know, it's like questionable whether this is justice.
Well, this is weird because she's like, I want to stay, but like, well, yeah, I guess is that what you're asking? Like, is this official business or are these two cops going rogue? Is that what you're
Yeah,
asking?
I mean that's
Yeah.
part of it, and it's also weird that like this makes her want to be a cop. Like
Yeah.
this,
The cops get shit done.
I guess so, but that's just I
Yeah.
don't know. Like
Well,
it's not.
it's actually really good, right? Because the kind of cop she is, which is a vigilante,
You're right.
like who's like beating people up first and asking questions later. So it
You're
actually
right.
makes sense that this
It's
is
just,
the
but it's just
impression.
not the standard cliche of why people are cops usually in stories.
But
You know what I
that's
mean? It's
good.
like, no, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying it's like, it's just not what I expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely remembering
There it
that
is.
stuff.
Yeah, there it is. That whole idea, like the badge doesn't get you justice.
Yep.
What did she say?
Whose was it?
Whose was what?
The memory.
Oh, that's right. Is there a difference? I guess this is what I don't get about Beyond is why didn't she guess what's happening to her?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at least as far as the
It does seem like she
nostalgia
knows
treatment.
enough to guess.
I thought she had like bionic contacts for like half a second.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a
That's
crazy cut.
that's a weird cut. They do crazy cuts between the normal world and this world.
Yeah, that's true.
He's at 365 clones.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Why is he a game warden? Is he the game? Like,
Yeah. He's like game warden slash judge. Like it's just this is weird.
yeah. And he's the only one with a mustache, right? Of the male clones.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Excuse me,
yeah.
mustache.
And the mask.
And he's also Ozymandias is wearing his like superhero
Mm-hmm.
costume.
It's weird that they know like what they are.
Yep. This is so lost.
It
You
really
can't leave
is.
the island.
Yeah.
So that seems to suggest he
You're right.
created the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just like the line was written strangely.
Yeah.
It's weird that they even bother to have a trial. Like I just they're the only I don't know. Do they
Mhm.
disagree about things, the clones? Like
I don't think they do. They seem to be on the same page. I think it's just a formality,
it's
which
just a
is why
formality.
he's
He
reacting the way
doesn't
he's going to
take it
react.
seriously. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was weird.
So that wink, it,
What is that about?
that she knows it's just a game, just like all the other games that they
Mhm.
play, and she was just playing her part.
Yeah, I guess
It's tough.
so.
It's tough. But it's also like you can't leave, and that's serious. So which one is it?
Right.
I guess the question is like, what's the punishment? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, right. I forgot. And then I'm like, where did these pigs come from? Like, do they come out of the lake too?
Well, they have. There's animals there, right?
That's true. But where do the animals come from?
Yeah. Well, the whole place is a paradise. She said. There, I think there's flora and fauna that just are natural.
This is... Did the pig really say guilty? Like, what is this?
Like, why are the pigs his peers?
I know, I know.
Because they're also mammals. He's a pig.
Yeah, that's I don't know what to do with that scene. It was so
So
strange.
I thought the tears was meaning he was getting emotional, but I also heard that maybe he's it's the idea of being bored to tears.
Oh God.
Like he was so this is so boring to him and without
Wow.
meaning that he's crying.
Okay.
So I thought that sounds more appropriate.
Yeah.
Because if he thinks he's getting rescued, then none of this matters, I guess.
Right. Right.
Yeah, why would your handprint work?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I mean, you got to try, but are those squids?
looked like it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hmm. That was his tail.
Yeah.
I guess that's what's an interesting detail is why. Oh, amnesia must be for Cal, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of Dougie.
Yeah. He's an elephant.
He's always not thinking things.
Mm-hmm. And also not telling anything. But doesn't that mean she won't be your mother because she'll have Beyond's memories too? So unless Beyond's memories get erased, then
Yeah.
now that's the line. That sounds like it's connected to the clock.
Yeah.
Unless her dad is Dr. Manhattan. Oh, her dad's Ozymandias.
Oh, that could totally be true.
That's totally it. It's solved.
Yeah.
No need to think about that plot anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good call.
Save me, daughter.
Save me, daughter. Ah! Yep. 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 100%. There he
Yep.
goes. That was the key. That was the
That was
key.
it. That was
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Wow, we figured it out.
Yeah, I know. There's
That
that
was
one line.
crazy.
I
I was
forgot
he.
about
I forgot about it too when she was like, "He will be." I was like, "What does that
it.
mean?"
Yeah.
Like, and then who could he be? Dr. Manhattan? No, that's too much for
Yeah.
one character. Oh, okay. Who's the other crazy character?
Who
Who's
clearly has a connection to
and who's
Lady
clearly
True.
coming from one place to another?
Yep. Yep.
All right, here we go with this scene. Agent Blake.
Blake.
It's like 5 syllables.
It's a long
You
vowel.
cracked that case. I do expect him at some point to drop the accent and to be like, "Yeah, I'm from New Jersey.
Right?
This is just for like
Hey.
politician, political reasons. Sound folksy."
Right.
He said, "Ah," like he knew that. He didn't know that.
I do feel like this little detail about Keen sending Blake to Tulsa is like a little
Hmm.
mishandled.
See, now she's back to normal Blake, being
Yeah.
snide and snippy.
But it's pretty close.
But yeah, you got it close. Yeah, but see, that's what's weird is why doesn't she care?
Yeah, she really should care.
She cares enough to like do all this work about who killed the sheriff,
Yeah.
but now she doesn't care about their grand mission. Racism. Only because you have everything. And other people want some of it, so they don't die in the streets. That's the only reason. I love that. I love the applause too.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Like, how did you buy a university? Why
Yeah,
did they sell it to
it's
you?
a really weird line. That shouldn't be the goal of like, oh, I'm gonna buy that university.
Yeah, it's almost
What?
like she's almost like she should have said like I flunked out of MIT, and then 4 years later I ended up buying it to
Yeah,
prove them wrong or something.
yeah, that would make more sense.
I
That's a
keep
quote from
thinking
Ozymandias, the poem.
Jesus mighty work. Yeah, good call. I keep thinking that was a flashback to her like a graduation speech, commencement speech, and then by the end of it, I go, "Oh, she's giving it right now."
Yeah. Don't ask me, I'm an elephant.
Yeah, exactly. Just a pachyderm.
My name's Hank. I can't believe this works.
Yeah.
That's a really bad.
That's a great security system. What I can do is break it. And there's no alarms.
And there's like rocks right there.
Yeah. For the ambiance. I mean, all jokes aside, this is a great moment because
Yeah,
you want to watch stuff that you can't guess what's going to happen, and this I couldn't have
definitely.
guessed it was going to be
It's a
this.
curveball. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's not explained in this episode.
yeah,
So,
and they're like hooked to some computer interface, so I assume something with the elephant is has a unique ability to de nostalgify.
yeah. Yeah.
That was wrong. Shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that's the explanation. And maybe it's just that like the reveals they get to are bigger, so they don't have time to like have a throwaway
Mhm.
line about it. But
Or it could be like the elephant, since it never forgets, is it's detoxing her, the will memories from her, but also storing them again.
right.
Like maybe that's the thing. So it's like a big database in memories.
Yeah.
I love that line. Like just this. They could have overlooked this whole little thing about the sort of abuse that she's been going through. But I just love that the, her grandmother picks up on it. The first fucking thing she
Yeah.
says is like, "Oh, you're in a bad spot. Like, I'm saving you." I just thought that was so nice.
Yeah. I agree.
I was actually sad how this story ends because I thought this
It's
actress
pretty
was really
sad.
good and like the
Yeah.
whole concept of from what we know of her backstory in the previous scene.
Yeah.
I thought this was just a cool thing of like all of this thing happening, and she things fall apart with her and Will, and she moves to Tulsa and forgets him, and she has a son,
Mm-hmm.
and she has issues and all that she's talking about right now as I talk over her. But
Right.
like, I just thought that this whole thing was like, I want to see this story play out, where she goes back to live with her and like whatever.
Right.
It's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so brief. They're really this is one of the things when you have 9 episodes, like
Yeah,
in a 20 episode season, you could have a whole episode about this stuff.
yeah.
That's a clue.
Oh yeah, there's a clue. Well, I'll tell you the most defining thing about me.
That's what I have time for.
Exactly. Something thematic.
And there's this movie I like.
In your bag of things about you.
Has she watched it yet?
I don't think she's seen it yet.
Yeah.
I don't think the orphanage had a VHS player.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Still not allowed.
wow.
I wonder if she's
Is
never seen it. That would be the
is this some weird
best.
thing? That's what I was just thinking. Like she never saw it. She just saw the
Yeah.
cover.
Yeah. And there'll be one episode where she finally watches it and it's like
Yeah.
the worst thing ever. She hates it. It's not at all what she thought it was about. I like that line too. A man in a mask scared your daddy.
Yeah.
Hashtag representation matters.
Oh boy.
No, they won't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have saw something bad was gonna happen.
Yep.
This is too hopeful and
It
positive.
seems really telegraphed when you know, but
Yeah,
I didn't expect it either.
yeah. And then this song, every time you go.
Yep.
Oh no. Dr. Manhattan in the background.
Yep.
Yeah, see, that said murderer, but also, didn't he? I mean, I don't know the history of Vietnam enough to understand the details, but like, weren't the Viet Cong bad? Or did he? Are they saying he killed innocent people too? Like,
Yeah. I'm not sure what they're saying, and I don't know the comics well enough to know like what the story was there.
yeah, gotcha. This is also like Lost. Like,
Oh,
you're in
so
some
that
lab.
voice.
Yeah, you're in a lab and there's a warning message.
Yeah,
And
we're at a Dharma station now.
yep, this is total Dharma Station.
Oh yeah, and then this thing happens.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot
Mm-hmm.
about this.
Yeah, you'd think level 0, I guess, would be the ground floor, but level 0 is where this is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's super weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure I understand what the point of this is.
Um, I thought that I don't either. I thought the idea was she set up these true stations so that maybe she could find a clue about Dr. Manhattan for anyone who's trying to reach him,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know why that's a good idea. Um,
Yeah.
or she saw it just as a business opportunity. People want to talk to him, so I'll set up these phone booths, but I know
Right.
I'll never get to him.
Yeah.
But here, you know, this is the whole other idea too about the religious
This
aspect
is
of Dr.
definitely the
Manhattan.
religious thing.
Sending,
Yeah.
sending prayers to God, and God's not there to hear you.
Right. Right.
But the fact that she gets Lori Blake's, it's contrived. But
Oh
like,
yeah.
I also wanted her to. I mean, that's the other thing I still don't get is like how much do the common person understand about the backstory of the Minutemen and all the people and the pre. Like does she know Lori used to go with Doctor Manhattan? Is it just a
Oh
thing
yeah.
everybody
I feel like
knows?
we'll have to find that out since it's
Yeah,
gotten so personal.
where you're with my man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I also thought there was gonna be something where like Angela is the girl who threw the brick or something. Remember that whole story
Ooh.
about the brick?
Yeah, yeah. I think they're free though.
Good call. Yeah, you're right. Maybe there's ads.
Ads, of course it's ads. It's like it's like YouTube meets Twitter.
Hmm.
I am.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I love that line. That was a good.
Yeah, she remembered that.
Yep. Less than an hour.
Yeah,
Looks
that's
like
like
a
really
lot that's
soon.
gonna go on. What are they? What is it? They're gonna become him?
Yeah.
It's such an oblique sentence.
Yeah, she totally knows.
Hmm.
Which does make me wonder why they didn't grab Cal while he was there.
Yeah. Hmm.
Maybe I just don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. See that? Like, what?
Yeah, I think I understand. It's yeah. Yeah, they're just in a different show.
Yeah. She doesn't look under arrest. Like, whose car did she borrow?
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Did you just give her a car to use or what?
Was her car there? No.
I'm assuming this is Wade.
Oh, 100% you're right. Yeah.
Or
Oh,
one of them.
oh.
Oh, there's actually two people. Oops, never
Yeah,
mind.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Wade is with them though. I'm like
For whom the bell tolls. I'm
so
sure that's
sold on
thematic.
that. Yeah, it definitely seems that way.
It tolls for D. Dr. Manhattan.
Right. That D,
That D,
not daughter.
yeah. I hope I read about that. That'd be like the first thing I get, spot on
Yeah.
before the reveal. One a season is my goal.
It's a good goal.
I like their cabinets.
Attainable. Oh man. Really watching for the home
Yeah,
improvements.
countertops are nice. I like that wood look. It's good. Is there something important happening here?
Yeah, I don't know if you're supposed to be focusing on the
Interior
cabinetry.
design. Yeah. Choo choo tunnel. I want to see a scene where he says, when it's time to come out of the tunnel, crack open my skull with the hammer.
Oh, is the amnesia that no, never mind. I'm confused.
I think you're right. I think he had to make himself not remember who he is in order for him to be human.
Right.
The lie. This is like Lost.
Yep. You're right. Oh man, wow. How much lost shit. This is like the lostiest episode they've done so far.
It is. John Osterman, watchmaker's son. I wish there was like the only thing I don't like about this scene, and it's a small nitpick, is like I'm completely convinced she's doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that I could have been tricked a bit into thinking she was killing him because
I
she was
agree.
crazy.
I
Like
agree.
the nostalgia is making her crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, they could have tried to sell that if they wanted to. It doesn't seem like they bothered to
Yeah.
get the audience to be on that
And
level. And I feel like doing it this way, like, is kind of pointless if we're not going to buy into it. So,
well, I guess it's like they just are gonna drive straight forward because the reveal is so crazy.
right.
I do love that the little we see the blue, but we don't see him yet.
Yeah. Yeah, they're saving
Uh,
it.
yeah, and I wonder how that thing works. The thing in the head, like what, like the mechanics of that little
Mm-hmm.
device, and how the husk worked, and then him. Like, was he inside of him, or did his body morph into Doctor Manhattan from Cal? Or
Yeah. Or was he just like in the thing somehow in his head?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what we're supposed to think about that.
Like, yeah, maybe the thing she took out was the thing blocking his memory. Like Dr. Manhattan
Right.
like created this device that
Right.
would block the memory, so once she takes that out, he can come back.
Yeah.
But anyway, a lot of cool ideas. And
It was a huge episode. It really feels like the season is gonna be over soon.
yeah, and now that I look at the sort of main poster for Watchmen, which is Angela against as Sister Knight against a yellow clock, she's in blue light.
Mm-hmm.
So they're really using those colors.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, really good episode. I mean, a lot going on. I think um it's weird that they wait to the last minute for all of this. She's like, in 1 hour, the cavalry's gonna
Mm-hmm.
go get him. And I mean, she has to be telling her that because she knows she's gonna go
Yeah.
and tell Cal he's Dr. Manhattan, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's not like she says, "Hey, you have an hour. I know your husband's Dr. Manhattan. You have an hour before they come and get him, and I'm gonna send you some armed guards to protect you," right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
that didn't happen. So,
Right.
um, and I guess the question is, how does the cavalry know who Cal is?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of an
That is a
interesting,
good question. Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like we'll have to learn that
Hmm.
in the next episode to
And I
clarify.
wonder if maybe that explains the sheriff. Maybe that explains why he was so friendly with the whole time.
Oh, that sounds like a good theory.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I
yeah,
like that. I like that.
yeah. He was trying to get
Wow.
close and stay
Ah, of
around.
course.
Uh,
Ah.
I guess the other question is why so long? Like why did they need to
Mhm.
have so much time? I guess they were built. There's still this open question about the portal that they're building
Yeah.
or whatever the machinery is.
Yeah,
So I
my other
think
question is what about those watch batteries? Like, are they using those in this portal thing? Like, they
yeah,
haven't really
maybe
mentioned that.
they are powering something with them
Mhm.
somehow. But yeah, that's another question.
That was just a little detail from early on that I didn't
Yeah.
really think mattered that much, but they made a big deal out of it. And it was supposed to tie in with this like clock thing and
Hmm.
tick tock tick tock,
Yep.
and so I'm just wondering like how that comes into play because they haven't specifically mentioned using the batteries for like whatever they're gonna do to
Oh, I think they'll come into play at the yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you're probably
Yeah, we
right.
have to power our portal with 1 million watch batteries with this particular chemical in it because it was like outlawed or something or
Yeah,
banned or whatever after the something something.
right.
Um, fill in the blank.
Yeah,
Um,
the thing we
but
find out.
yeah, the season's hotting up, as they say.
It is.
Um,
Oh man, I heard another one the other day like that. It was they call it a pay rise
Instead of a pay increase,
instead of a pay raise.
pay raise. Oh yeah, pay rise.
Pay rise.
Yeah,
It's like so close.
yeah, that's super close.
And yet it's not
Yeah.
quite right.
What is it? Pay rise.
Pay rise. Yeah.
Pay
I want a
rise.
pay rise.
Oh, oh, the Brits. Will they ever get it right?
I doubt it.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I love those. I love those little quirks. Those are really funny.
Yeah. Language.
All right. Well, I'm happy we don't have to wait long until the final episode.
Indeed, indeed. It's coming very soon.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see. I guess to me that not only how the story threads that they've built up play out, but what are going to be the big things for season two? Like, what's the? I guess we should like theorize. Like, what what cliffhangers or ideas will they bring up in this last episode that could sustain an entire season? I mean, I wonder now if I'm really going crazy in crackpot theory and also trying to pull up my head in Damon Lindelof's shoes, like using thinking about his storytelling devices before, I I would think something fundamentally drastic happens. Like
Hmm.
they're not even in Tulsa next
Oh,
season.
I totally agree.
Like
Yeah.
like something, they go back in time, like the tower turns on and now it's the 80s again or something,
Hmm.
or like, I
Yeah.
mean, the idea that they're gonna turn that thing on almost around the exact same time the Calvary's trying to kidnap Dr. Manhattan, I think is not a coincidence.
Yeah.
So what's gonna happen? Yeah, I guess we can start there. What do you think's gonna happen when they turn that thing on?
Let's
It's
see.
called the Millennium Clock, but it's nowhere near the
Yeah.
Millennium. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
that's weird.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's pretty
Okay.
close.
Sure, you're right. On the millennia scale, it's pretty close. You round down, sure.
But yeah, I feel like it just sounds cool. I don't
It
know
definitely
how
sounds cool.
relevant it is that it's uh, a millennium clock. Yeah, I do feel like something timey wimey should happen.
Timey
Um,
wimey.
which makes me think, yeah, time travel or alternate universe or
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Alternate
know.
universe. That's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So something along those lines where you can do like a drastic change
Yeah.
like really quickly.
Yeah.
That's sort of what I had in mind, but I don't really have a specific idea. She was really cagey about the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that's one of the big questions, which is what you're trying to get me to answer. Uh, full circle. Uh, yeah, that's a tough one. Let me think. Yeah,
I mean, I there Ozymandias has to come off of Europa too, so I feel like
right.
is the machine gonna do that somehow, bring him home because
Oh, yeah, yeah,
he's coming
yeah.
imminently.
It
So
should
that's
do
a
that, but will
thing.
that be all it does? I feel like it
It
should do
can't
more
be
than
all it
that.
does. Yeah, it's got to save you. She's trying to save humanity.
Yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah.
guess let's think about it that way. How? Okay, so what do we know? We know that Will came to her needing her resources to help save humanity from the Seventh Cavalry, who is ultimately trying to balance order, AKK, aka white supremacy, and
Right. That's
by
yeah.
taking Dr. Manhattan's
That's what order
powers.
means.
Yep. And So that's their plan. So why would she invent a machine? And don't forget, that's the other thing that they set up a while ago was the thing that fell from the sky on the property she bought in the egg episode. Remember, that comet or something
Oh
fell from the
shit, I forgot
sky.
about that.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, yeah.
So
What was
that's
that about?
still
How does that
unknown.
relate?
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, that needs to be factored in. That's
Yeah.
important. Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would want to think that that thing was Dr. Manhattan, but it doesn't make any sense if he's Cal.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, it has to be something else. What would it be? What is falling from the sky?
yeah. Satellites fall from the sky, comets, meteors. I mean, comets not really technically, but meteorites.
Hmm.
Um, what
Let's be
could?
technical.
Yeah, I know. I said comet. I was like, that's not how comets work. Um, and the comet falls from the sky. It's a meteorite.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, what's the thing we're missing? Because that was such a small detail, which means it's hugely important.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Let's see. Are there any other details we're forgetting about?
No, that was the only one. There's no other details. Anyone who tells you there's other details we're forgetting about is wrong.
I'm trying to think. Could the squids factor in? Um,
Squids. I think you're. There's. I think something with squids. I feel like should happen. So, or that parallel dimension or whatever the extra dimension where squids come from. Maybe. Um, I mean, could they be trying to save humanity by merging our reality with the Squidverse or something? Um, does that mean
Okay.
anything?
Okay, that's
She
interesting.
said the clock tells time.
Right. What does it tell time?
Yeah, I feel like it tells. Yeah, exactly. It tells time to wake up. Um,
Yeah, I feel like there's got to be a catch with that.
yeah, I think it's some weird semantical phrase. Like it tells time to go forward or it tells time to go backwards.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think she likes speaking like that.
She loves
Uh,
it.
the
Everyone
Doctor
else around her
Manhattan
hates her.
calls, like, do those come into play? Um, how does that matter? How does that relate to time? What other like random stuff that didn't seem to matter? I feel
Yeah,
like that's the easiest way to
I
solve these
wonder if
things.
I wonder if Ozymandias. So my theory is that Cal or somehow Doctor Manhattan meets Angela in Vietnam,
Yeah,
and they have a romance, and they realize the only way they can be together is if he becomes human, or he's just interested in that or something.
right.
And he realizes that Ozymandias is a threat to humanity, and his secret identity is Cal. So, in order for him to go undercover as Cal, he's going to have to put Ozymandias in prison for this duration. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
But I think they said, oh, wait, did you say, you said something about time where Ozymandias is, but in this episode, I think they said he's been there 1 year, right?
Time is going by faster every time we come back to where Ozymandias is. Like the time is elapsing very quick. A lot of time elapses every time we go there, is what I mean.
Okay. Oh, we're in payload territory now. So
Yeah,
so then it
exactly.
doesn't make sense that they would say a year. Like it should be if the time is lapsing
She
faster, it should be long. It should be long. It should be
it
like
no no no
500 years or something.
no. For him, maybe a year. For the people on Earth, several years. Because
Then time
truth
is elapsing slower there, right? Or wait. Oh wait. What am I saying?
E equals MC squared. Does that answer your question?
Okay. So his year covers like 20 years or something.
Well, look,
Is what you're saying.
didn't Lady True say
Or
when they
30 years.
go, the episode 3 or 4, when they go to her home or wherever she is in the clock tower, and they see the statue of Ozymandias? I thought she said he's been missing for like 4 years or something.
Yeah, that sounds true. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's basically what I assume. It's
Oh,
been
okay.
4
That was
years
how.
on
Well, then,
Earth.
but that's not enough time, right? Cal's been around longer than that, I think.
I don't know how long Cal's been around. I
Hasn't he
don't
been
think we
around
know
longer
that.
than that?
How are we supposed to know? He was around at least the furthest back we know he's been around was the White Knight. I think that's safe to say.
Yeah, yeah, he was definitely there for that. That was what 3 years ago. What did they
Yeah,
say?
I think something like that.
I mean, he supposedly was in Vietnam, right? That's
Yeah,
the
but the
story.
question is, when did Doctor Manhattan take him over? That's because that's when
Oh,
they
are you
would have
saying that's
come
just
to
a cover
Tulsa.
story?
What's a cover story?
That he was never actually like he never appeared as Cal in Vietnam. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know if that's true or not. I think it's easier if I don't know, some weird story I could see playing out is Angela meets real human Cal, and then something happens to him and he dies, and then or he's revealed that he is Dr. Manhattan. I don't know. Yeah, I can't really piece it
I
together.
guess the tricky thing is like since Cal is like a Dougie type character, it's sort of they can kind of say whatever they want.
The question is, when did Erica and Cal come to Tulsa? That's the starting point, because whenever they get
Yeah,
there, Cal is Dr. Manhattan at that point.
yeah, right,
Or the up and
right,
Dr. Manhattan is Cal.
yeah.
I think that's probably within the same time frame. To me, there's
You might
no
be
listen,
right.
because here's the thing: if Doctor Manhattan is the one who imprisoned Ozymandias, he couldn't have done that while he was Cal, right? So he would have
Right.
had to have done that before
Before.
he goes undercover as Cal. And I
Yeah.
think the story reason why he does it is to either protect his own identity as Cal during this time, because Ozymandias is the only one who not the only one clearly, but is someone who could figure out his identity,
Right.
or it's because he wants to protect humanity from Ozymandias
Mm-hmm.
during this period of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that again, that goes back into Lady True looking for Ozymandias. That's why she has the satellite out there. Maybe she has one around
Right.
every planet and every moon or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, but so that's what I'm thinking is she's looking for him. Oh, the whole thing was the time differential. Um, yeah, maybe for Ozymandias it hasn't been as
So
long.
it's only been 1 year for him, but it's been like 4 years or something
Yeah, yeah,
in the real world. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which would make sense. Then
yeah.
it's like, well, it's yeah. I don't know. It's still a little confusing, but yeah, I think that I think that adds up.
Yeah.
Anything with time travel or like differing time, like
Well, and think about it.
progressions.
The place on Europa where he is like the island, right?
Yeah, you're
It's
right.
this paradise like place. It's cut off from reality. And so it makes sense that they would do
Yeah,
the time barrier thing.
yeah,
It already has a barrier.
right.
Just add some time to it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I
It's
think that all
pretty
makes
amazing.
sense.
I'm really amazed how you could just redo Lost and call it Watchmen. Uh
It is strange. It is strange. I didn't think. I mean, I knew it would be at least like somewhat similar. Thematically, I knew there'd be like
mhm.
writing tricks and all that. But yeah,
Yeah.
even to like specific plot elements,
Mhm.
it's it's actually in that way more similar to Lost than Leftovers was.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is not. I wasn't expecting that because I didn't really think of Watchmen. I mean, all I really knew was the movie, but it didn't come across as being very much like Lost.
Yeah. Yeah. And this thing about memories too, I can't quite put my finger on it. There's something that's reminding me about Lost. Maybe the claiming or something. But this thing about
uh there was
ideas in
a
your head.
memory thing with Daniel Faraday. I don't know if you're thinking of that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He had that weird like where he like forgot everything for a while and then he came back to the island and he got his memories back.
Mhm. Mhm.
Supposedly, or I guess, I don't know, it was weird. He was crying when he saw the plane crash on TV because, like, I don't know why.
Yeah.
There's that whole thing. That's the memory
Uh
thing that comes to mind.
yeah,
Oh,
but
I
it's
guess
something
I guess
about
the other memory thing in Lost is the smoke monster like scanning people's memories.
okay. Yeah, it's like nostalgia a bit, a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's sort of like
Like
he
that
can
kind of
like
thing.
take your nostalgia.
Mhm. It sounds like a David Lynch thing. He's gonna eat
It
your
does.
nostalgia. You stole the nostalgia. All right, all right. Well, there's a lot of big ideas here. You have any cockpot theories for season two, like what they might set up? Because I guess that's the question, right? Going into the finale is, do the cavalry capture Cal and get his power or not?
Right. Do we have to deal with them in season 2 or not? I
Yeah,
think that's the fundamental
yeah.
question. Do they wrap it up now, or is it like, okay, it's going to be like super cavalry in season 2?
Mm-hmm.
They could go either way. I kind of hope they wrap it up. I kind of like to do something else next season,
Yeah.
but I think either one is possible. I 100% agree that they'll move like out of Tulsa. Like that feels like, moving to a different time period isn't something I considered. I assume they would stay in the same time period and like at least keep like a few of the characters, like do the leftovers model of like,
Mm-hmm.
moving some of them and some of them, don't come, but they might stay in Tulsa and they're just like not on the show anymore.
You know what I'm thinking now is the Millennium Clock is now reminding me possibly of the donkey wheel and
Oh
this idea
no.
slash orchid, right? So this idea
Yeah.
that the people perhaps or even the whole place of Tulsa could move in time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Um
Yep. Yep.
because I hear Lady True going, in order to save humanity, we had to go back in time or we had to like go to some other period or other reality in order to do that. So this millennium clock, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
can it flash back a millennia? Like,
Yeah,
are they
maybe.
gonna go to 1919? You know, which is the year before the Tulsa
I
riot.
don't think that would be a millennium.
Oh,
But
that's 100 years. Oh man, that was gonna make
yeah,
so much sense
millennia is
to
gonna be
me.
like 1019.
1019,
That's gonna
man,
be a little
1919.
weird.
God, it was so thematic. Too bad numbers don't work that way.
It all went wrong in yeah, it should be the century clock.
Yeah, maybe
That would
that's.
be
I can hear her saying that too. We should
yep.
have called it the century clock, but millennium
Yes.
sounds better.
They could totally do that. That's
Oh
like not out of
man,
place.
oh man, that I feel like my money. If it's time travel, my money is on. We were gonna call it the century clock, but millennium sounds better.
Yeah, I that actually yeah. I 100% believe that line is going to happen now
Yeah,
because it feels like something they would do.
yeah.
It's
So
like
this I
jokey and yet also an explanation for a thing.
yeah. Yeah, maybe this there's some idea that they know that they can't stop the cavalry from doing their plan with Dr. Manhattan's powers, so that the only
Mhm.
way to stop them is to go back in time before the Tulsa riot and like stop the cavalry from back then, stop them from
Yeah.
forming, stop
Yeah.
the Cyclops or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the thing. That's crazy though. That's really crazy.
That is really crazy. If that's what they do, that's going to be pretty crazy. I guess yeah, using the donkey wheel model it would be like only Tulsa somehow, but I guess that would still count. It would be weird if like Tulsa was time traveling and the rest of the world wasn't.
Yeah, no, I assume it's some certain people will go back in
Certain
time.
people.
Maybe you have to be, you know, within
Yeah.
the some radius
Right.
of the clock
Be like
in
the
order to
Ajira thing, like someone will
yeah,
flash out and
exactly.
do a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could totally do that. I think that makes sense. I'm kind of expecting most of the threads to be wrapped up, but I feel like, Dr. Manhattan, um, and maybe some of this Lady True Ozymandias stuff I could see carrying over um, in some form, but I think they'll have to introduce a new thing, and it's really hard to predict like what a new thing is going to be because it isn't necessarily based on anything from this season. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
yeah, it's a hard one.
Yeah. Well, I yeah, if it's a completely new thing that they just invent in this next episode, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I feel like that happens sometimes. But on the other hand, they've been layering in a lot of clues. There were a lot of clues in this episode that I didn't pick up on the first time. So it might be that the plan's right there if you just find the right obscure detail.
Mhm.
At this point, I'm convinced that that's a valid way to watch the show. It's worked too many times. It's like okay, okay, okay. Like I can't just go, oh, whatever. That doesn't matter. Ignore
Yeah.
that line.
Yeah, no, the lines matter.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of want to try to guess everything, but that's probably futile. No, I probably can't guess
I
everything.
mean, hey, if you got a guess for everything, no reason not to throw it out.
Any other any other big so do you think they're going to reveal the what's his name? Oil Man?
Yes.
Are we finally gonna get?
100%. I feel like Oil Man is Petey is the best theory, but I think they could go other ways with that if they wanted to. I don't think it's
Hmm.
too it's not as locked in as um Lady True being Ozymandias' daughter. Like I feel like that's like
Hmm.
basically 100% true. I would be so shocked if that's like not the thing
Yeah,
at this
yeah.
point.
It just kind of makes too much sense. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. What was the exact line that she said? She goes, Angela was saying, your daughter is, you're making your daughter into your mother, and then True says, I'm on the verge of accomplishing my life's work. Is it so wrong that I want my parents with me or
Hmm.
something?
Yeah.
That makes me think they're going to go, like they're going on a trip. So that goes into the time travel thing too to me, because
Yeah.
like she wants her mother, but also that's such a long not con but a long plan,
Yeah.
like unless Beyond is aging rapidly or something, like is it just gonna be, another 60 years
Right.
before she's the mother that, she remembers?
Actually remembers. Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough thing. It should be more like the Cylons where they just come out at the age that they were supposed to be.
Oh yeah, I know, she's a trillionaire. You think she could make that happen? um
I do think that whole idea of like implanting memories and stuff like that is vaguely along the lines of some of that stuff from Battlestar Galactica.
yeah.
Like trying to make the person or how the memories make you the person or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like touching on that.
Dark City, man.
Dark City, yeah, that's that's a much heavier version of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder, any other big plot threads that are hanging?
The other one I'm so certain on is Wade is undercover
Yeah.
with the cavalry. I didn't really, yeah, I don't know what I was paying attention to in that scene, but I didn't care about the missing
As
mask.
soon as it happened, and he's like, "Well, there's one without a
Yeah,
man," and I was like, "Oh, that's weird." And then like later, I was like, "Why doesn't he have a mask? Why is there one without a mask?" And
yeah,
I was like, "And Wade's gone." Oh yeah, he took the mask.
yep. That's a good
Uh,
question. It's like a great like way to think. It's just that I think it was just that I was surprised. I guess like that's not how I thought it went from the ending, 2 episodes
hmm.
ago when they
Yeah,
storm in. So I think I was just thinking like, so what happened here? Where
yeah,
is he? And so I wasn't listening to the clues that were telling me the answer.
yeah. Well, that's what they want you to do. Not listen
Exactly.
to
I
the
fell into the
clues.
trap.
Yeah. Something else I was gonna bring up real quick. A dangling thread. Um, yeah. Don't remember now, but I think that's all the big stuff.
Yeah, think so.
I do think we're kind of done in Tulsa. Like they spend a lot of time really fleshing out this world, and the cops are wearing masks, and
Hmm.
this, and I do feel like that's done. Like I
I
just
agree.
like, can we really, like, next season there's another conspiracy that Angela has to uncover? Like I don't
Hmm.
think that's it, right?
No, 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 no. I think they have to go in a different direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it makes sense to, now that Dr. Manhattan is coming back, I think it makes sense that Ozymandias comes back in the like proper play, right?
Hmm.
Into a main plot that affects everybody else.
Yes. Finally. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
guess we'll
yeah.
have to see like what his being guilty will do, or if it's just going to be like, all that was killing time until he gets
Hmm.
rescued.
Yeah. And I'm curious what the rescue looks like.
Yeah.
I mean, is she gonna send a spaceship to to Europa,
Yeah.
or does the Millennium Clock sort of
Oh, could be.
zap to him or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Or um I mean, they do have those like ships, right? The flying ship that took the car. I mean, could you put a
Right.
rocket on that? I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, I and yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, I want to know the backstory of how you even got in that place and why. And the whole thing was like the one rule was you can't leave.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, clearly he's there for a reason.
Yeah.
But I love Jeremy Irons. He's great in this role, so I'm
Yeah, I
excited
agree.
for him to do more stuff with other people.
Yeah, to get out of that like purgatory. It's
Yeah.
really not to get too lost, but yeah, it's weird. He's had like two actors to play off of this whole
Mm-hmm.
time. And yeah, it'll be nice for him to actually like get into the main plot.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
I think that is it for now.
All right. Well, I would consider that a religious awe.
Sure. Almost.
Almost. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Until next episode. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, we'll see you later. Bye.